The mainframe. The mainframe. Security will be tight. I like a challenge.
Damn hardware! I miss the old days. Rock solid machinery and no child-proof programs. This is not the coder's dream.
DNA reader ready. Please give sample now. Authorizing. System notifying. Notifying. DNA reader ready. Please give sample now. DNA reader ready. Please give sample now. DNA reader ready. Please give sample now. Unscheduled DNA sample added to prison staff databank. Notifying system security.
Security breach in mainframe area. Possible breakout attempt.
Go! Mission 1, start! Heavy machine gun. Okay.
Easy right. Hard left, don't cut. Narrows, onto gravel. Medium right, caution, trees inside. Onto tarmac. Long, easy left. Over crest. Long, easy left. Caution, bump, long. Over crest. Caution, jump. Caution, jump, long, easy left, tightens, onto gravel. Onto gravel. Caution, bump, inside, medium left, long, easy left. Into tight hairpin right, caution, trees inside. Easy right. Tightens. Narrows. Square right, don't cut. Narrows. Long, easy right. Easy right. Long, easy left. Inside, long, easy left, tightens. Easy left, long, easy right, easy left, over crest. Long, easy right, over crest, tightens. Easy left. Right. Easy left. Easy right. Over finish.
The evil, dark dragon blade. A legendary sword, said to have been carved out of the bones of a black dragon. It brought plague and death to the world during the age of ancient myth. It has been sealed by those of the dragon lineage since the dawn of history because of its incredible capacity for evil, made possible by the souls of the vanquished black dragons that dwell within it. It is said that if the blade seal were to be broken, it would gather the hatred and evil of mankind and confer it upon the one who wields it, transforming him into the devil incarnate. However, not even those of the dragon lineage who protect it know the true extent of its power. The dragon sword, another weapon protected by the dragon lineage since ancient times. This sword, which is said to have been used by ancient warriors to slay the black dragons, is now handed down from generation to generation.
Here's your man, Nick Scryer. Facial reconstruction and a memory wipe.
Intelligence has the movement attacking the refinery in about 90 hours from now. We're ready when he is.
This memory wipe will give us plenty of time to drop him in and get him past the movement's psi probes. Mindgate's specialty is psyops.
I've done some homework on Mindgate. Your boy's got quite a reputation, and it's not all good.
Okay, he's no Boy Scout, but Nick Scryer is Mindgate's best. They dismissed General Krieger, but Scryer stayed with Mindgate and took his psychic powers to a new level.
Memory wipe initiated.
Roger!
life, the bright lights, the type the crowd likes when you at. Ballers. Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me where you at. Ballers. I live the life, the bright lights, the type the crowd likes when you at. Ballers. Ladies love me and men, they wanna be me, they pay to come see me where you at. Ballers.
Midway, Buck, NBA. What up, ballers? Sub me in, coach. So you wanna be a baller? Drive to the lane, dunk, you a scorer, So you wanna be a baller, yeah. Shoot the jumper, now you hit a 3-pointer, yeah. Said you wanna take over, but this whole defense destroying ya, Got it. Said you wanna be a shot caller, what else can I holler? Step your game up if you wanna be a baller. My team going all the way. You gon' need your best player if you wanna win the game today. I lead the league in all categories and guarantee when it comes to overtime, you gon' know about my story. 3-pointer at the buzzer. Plus I got your coach mad cause they gave the ball to none other. King J. Couple players shaking hands and that's that rematch. And my team still carry the load. Either playing at home in the road. We got that. Get the rock and roll straight to the hoop. Might pull up at the free throw line and shoot. Yes, a timeout is what you gon' need if you want your team to reduce the lead. I want a foul call, better scream and holler. Midway, Buck, so you wanna be a baller. Drive to the lane, dunk, you a scorer. So you wanna be a baller, yeah. Shoot the jumper, now you hit a 3-pointer.
Who's hip with the flow? Bobby Benson here, always representing the game, y'all. We're live from Marbury's crib in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Stand up! An almost fictional matchup tonight, brought to you by MSEN, as Shaquille O'Neal goes mano-a-mano with LeBron James. With two dunkers going at it, this one's sure to be a
So we bout to ball hard at Stephon Marbury's residence. Let's do this! Pushes it out! Whoa! Right side. Let's fly! Clunk. Put up the shot. Highest one up. Hustle. Almost broke the backboard with that brick. Leans in. The shot. Fire. Yo, you need to reroute your navigational system, dog, cause you're going the wrong way. The off-balance shot. Better hurry up with that shot. It's AG. The leaner. From deep. Here he comes.
Midway. NBA. Balls.
Choose the dark or the light path as you learn the ways of the Force. And watch to see if CPGG and I answer your KOTOR distress signal. Only on the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic edition of Cheat. Hey, I'm Corey Rouse. You're watching Cheat, Pringle's Gamer's Guide, the show that turns mere mortals into invincible gaming gods. Sometimes a game is so deep, so challenging, and so fun that it deserves an entire episode of its own. And that's exactly where we find ourselves with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This RPG features real-time battles and an action-filled experience that will test your gray matter and fast-twitch muscle groups. Confused? No problem. We'll help you get started with a hyperspace jump into Knights of the Old Republic. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a galactic role-playing game, or RPG, set 4,000 years before Episode 1. The Jedi Order is reeling as it struggles to defend the fragile Republic from the onslaught of Darth Malak and his overwhelming Sith Armada. Many Jedi have fallen in this war, or have turned to the dark side. Caught in this conflict, you must choose to either follow the light path as the Republic's last hope, or be seduced by the dark side of the Force, joining the Sith Master and conquering the galaxy.
This is but a taste of the dark side.
KOTOR is unlike any Star Wars game you may have played before. With an original storyline and expansive gameplay, Knights of the Old Republic combines the action of real-time combat, the adventure of world-spanning quests, and the immersion of character building into over 100 hours of epic turn-based role-playing in the Star Wars universe. This massively open-ended game is just a 20-sided die roll away from your old pen and paper games and choose-your-own-adventure stories. And you have been chosen to be our Padawan learner as we explore both sides of the Force. Your character begins at level 1, and you'll gain experience points throughout the game that enables you to level up various abilities as high as level 20. The higher you are able to upgrade your attributes, skills, feats, and force powers, the more powerful you'll become. There are a limited number of opportunities to upgrade, so only use the auto level up until you understand these abilities enough to level up manually. Whether you reach level 20 is greatly affected by your selection of character class. A soldier is the easiest to begin with as they are trained for combat, so upgrade their melee skills right away. A scoundrel is the most difficult to begin with, but a highly effective character for expert players. They're weak in combat, but have the most skills and a special sneak attack ability causing extra damage. A scout balances the other two classes with medium-range fighting skills and the automatic ability to use implant feats. Once you begin your adventure, you'll start gaining experience points to level up your attributes, skills, feats, and eventually force powers when you become a Jedi. Attribute levels have a direct effect on your skills and combat feats. Although depending on your class, only certain attributes are worth upgrading to have any real value to your character. Skills are usually non-combat abilities such as compute use. There are 3 types of feats: passive combat, active combat, and skill feats. Passive feats give you greater abilities with armor and weapons. Combat feats are special attacks used in the heat of battle. Skill feats enhance your character with a bonus to their non-combat skills. These are only the basics of KOTOR, young Padawan. Maintain your focus, as we'll soon enlist the expert instruction of the game's creators at LucasArts and BioWare to get your gameplay off and running on the path to becoming a Jedi Knight. All right, should be good. So now you know the game takes place 4,000 years before the first Star Wars movie, and that the Sith and Republic are engaged in a war for the ages. A KOTOR Padawan must be patient. Before you embark on your journey down either the light or the dark path, you must first learn the ways of being an adventurer in the Old Republic.
When you first start the game, the best thing to go with is a soldier because people are going to want to go into combat. They're going to want to really, get into hand-to-hand combat with people, and the soldier is the most suited to doing that type of combat. So he's really the best character to start with. He'll give you the best balance early on, and then will allow you to get through some of those early confrontations.
I think the first thing I learned was I went as a soldier. I think it's better for play the beginner. Just when you get into combat, you can take a lot more hits.
So leveling up your characters is obviously important. You want to do that as often as you can. There may be some points where you don't want to do that immediately, and that could be a strategy for some more advanced gamers. Characters that aren't in your party and are back on the Ebon Hawk, they still gain experience points. So when you bring them back in your party, you'll have to level them up right when they come back in, even if you haven't used them for 4 hours or whatever in the game. So you'll still be able to advance them up to the level where you're at, because it's kind of a balance thing. We had to make sure that everyone was useful, and if you only stuck with a couple people but then you needed to bring someone else in and we didn't level them up, it would make them completely useless. So we want to make sure that you could use those party members whenever you wanted or needed to later in the game, even if you hadn't used them earlier.
I switched party members because I always wanted, I like to try a few of the different kinds. Some people had their favorites, and I think the majority of people usually kept the same two people. A lot of people like the Jedis. I used to have Karth a lot because I like the double blasters. I even tried T3M4 a lot. He was good with the flamethrower and the stun droids. He was good with the flamethrower just because, it did quite a bit of damage lighting people on fire, so. I would switch off quite often, but probably about halfway through, I'd have my 3 or 4 favorites that I would always go back and use.
You can set up some scripts for the AI to maybe have them throw grenades more often or just do general combat. I was also very active with using my queue, so I would go in and be very diligent about setting up my queue for each one of my characters, unless I knew it was a really easy battle. But if I was in a combat that I knew was going to be more difficult, I would make sure I pause it every time. I wound up buying a ton of med packs and a ton of stim packs to make sure that I could, I would use a combat move and I would use a med pack and then I would use a combat move. So I almost was alternating that at some points in the game when I knew it was going to be a really tough battle.
I always reset the queue as fast as possible. The AI is good, but you can always do a better job of it. Sometimes I'd have a guy, maybe Karth or whoever, lobbing grenades in from a distance. Be careful with those in case you hit your own guys too many times. But I was playing around with the mines quite a bit too. They were really powerful. Like to set them down, you could take out some of the bigger creatures pretty easily. So.
It looks like you're well on your way to becoming a Jedi Knight. We need to take a break here, but when we come back, we'll show you what life is like on both the light and the dark side of the Force. And later, we'll show you how to make some easy money in the game. That's all coming up right here on Cheat.
Johnny, you can't do this to me, man. Who am I gonna play Counter-Strike with, huh? I can't take the bridge without you.
You don't need me, man. I've been running on your fumes for years. Take my memory card. Watch out for level 3.
Johnny? No!
G4!
Welcome back to Cheat, Pringle's Gamer's Guide. I'm Corey Rouse. Now that you've got the basic skills and know that character building, damage bonuses, and party selection are nothing to fear, it's time to delve into the meat of the game. Because at some point, you'll have to choose which side of the Force you want to align yourself with. For all you straight and narrow types, it's time to step into the light side of the Force.
The Force fights with me.
Long before long ago, the Jedi Knights were soldiers of the fragile Republic. Revered as warriors of the light side, Jedi seek the truth as representatives of all that is right. The Force grows strong in you. And in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, it is up to you to wield your powers for good or turn to evil. You must decide at the very beginning whether you shall follow the light side or succumb to the dark side. Remember, the Force flows through us all, making all life worthy of respect. As you'll learn through conversations and completing quests, you can grow more powerful in the way of the light. If you choose wisely and in alignment of the Jedi Code, your powers as well as your knowledge of the light side will grow. As you begin your journey, play to your character's class strengths. Don't force a scoundrel to fight like a soldier, nor a scout to fight like a scoundrel. With any class, plan ahead for your upgrades. Certain feats you'll want sooner than later, like Flurry, Critical Strike, and two-weapon fighting. They can mean the difference between life and death when facing some higher-ranking opposition. Jedi have one true weapon, their lightsaber. You'll use crystals to upgrade your blade power as well as change its color. There are numerous power crystal combinations with specific benefits depending on the battle. Bondar and Danmin give you a +3 attack bonus and a 25% chance of stunning your target. Nextor and Opelia give you a +3 damage bonus and double your critical threat range. A Jedi strives for peace, but there will come a time to defend yourself and fight. Use your strength and your smarts, as many opponents are powerful in numbers, but vulnerable alone. Choose your battles and face them one-on-one to gain the upper hand. This leads to my final lesson, Padawan, and listen close, for what I teach is but a shadow of all that can be learned. The light and the dark side share some common force powers, but there are special powers exclusive to each path. Wielding force powers will cost force points, but light side Jedi can use light powers at a less expense. A light side follower could summon dark powers, but at a greater expense than a dark Jedi. Force Stun is an invaluable beginning power leading up to Stasis, and then to Stasis Field. This power of Stun and Stasis can incapacitate several foes at once, allowing you to focus your attack on one powerful foe without interference from his allies. Force Cure may be the single most important force power, as it extends your life in fights against more powerful enemies. You can upgrade to Force Heal, which also allows you to cure poison attacks. Both powers can be used on multiple party members, so be sure each Force user in your party upgrades to Force Heal. Now they can heal one another in the heat of battle, rendering your party virtually unstoppable. There are definitely some perks to being on the light side of the Force. Everyone respects you, you're working to improve the galaxy, and you almost always get the girl. But there are also benefits to showing your allegiance to the dark side. You get a red lightsaber, wearing black is cool, and you might get to have Darth in your name someday. Join me, Corey. Never!
It is too late to retreat, Admiral. There is no escape for us.
All right, enough of the goody-goody stuff. It's time to get down to the real power. Do you think a smile is just a bullseye for a well-placed fist? Do you want to feel the power of pure emotion? If so, then the dark side is calling you. But there's no easy path to becoming a master. You must find your own way, and my mission is to aid you in fulfilling your destiny to rule the galaxy. From the moment your quest begins, you must act like a true disciple of the Sith.
I think you must have cheated a little, but there's nothing wrong with a Sith cheating a little.
Every action must be to the benefit of the one person you can depend on, you. By striking fear into the fearful, dominating the weak, and fulfilling your every whim, you'll earn dark side points. The more points you possess, the closer you are to becoming a master and making more powers available to you. Much like the universe, your choices in battle may seem endless to your weak mind, but I can help you become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Even for Dark Jedi, you must know your place. If you're a scoundrel, act like a scoundrel, and so on for your class. Nothing gives you away as an apprentice quicker than sending a scoundrel into a melee attack, or having a soldier stand on the outskirts of a fight. Play to your character's strengths, and your foes will fall quickly as you isolate and dominate. The power of Force Shock is a must-have for any follower of the dark side. This attack is somewhat mild, but you can soon upgrade to Force Lightning. Now you can feel a taste of true power as lightning rips from your fingers into the bodies surrounding you. This is only a prelude to the most powerful force power in the game, Force Storm. Despite being unable to cast this power while wearing armor, it can all but destroy a group of enemies before they even get close enough to feel the heat from your lightsaber. You'll have the last word on force powers with Drain Life and Death Field. They are especially useful when you're weakened, and they'll suck the life out of your enemies and make you stronger. A true symbol of what it means to serve the Sith as a Dark Jedi. And finally, a universal force power any Jedi will need, whether you're light or dark. The 3 levels of Force Push, Whirlwind, and Force Wave are invaluable as they briefly disable enemies and affect multiple targets. Plus, it can be cast while wearing armor. Have 1 or more Jedi summon this power, and you'll defend the innocent, or strike down the weak like a true Jedi Master. To quote Dark Helmet, now you see that evil will always triumph because good is dumb. It's time for me to level up again, so we'll take a break. But when we come back, we'll search KOTOR for some Easter eggs on your travels throughout the galaxy. But first, it's the Pringles popularity poll. This week's Pringles popularity poll travels to the Star Wars galaxy. Gamers have hopped in their pod racers to g4tv.com/cheat to cast their votes for their favorite Star Wars codes. There's Star Wars Bounty Hunter with mission and chapter codes. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast with all weapons and boost force power. Next up is Star Wars Clone Wars with invincibility and complete level bonuses. In Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader, we unlock the Millennium Falcon in all levels. For Star Wars Racer's Revenge, you can unlock Top Speed mode. And last but not least is Star Wars Jedi Starfighter with God mode and the Z-95 Headhunter ship. The games and codes that don't pop with gamers can't make the jump to light speed, but this week's game of popularity is Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. To cheat your way through the game, hold the Shift and Tilde keys on your keyboard to open up the command console. Then type in Help Us Obi-Wan to enable cheat codes. For a list of all the cheat codes, check out the Cheat Sheet Master Database. Don't let the dark side keep you from checking out g4tv.com/cheat to cast your vote in the next Pringles popularity poll. I'm Coy Rouse, and I level up faster thanks to cheating. Shut up. Welcome back to Cheat, Pringles Gamer's Guide. If there's one thing you can say about Knights of the Old Republic is that linear doesn't translate into Mandalorian. You aren't limited to doing things in a predetermined order, and there are plenty of diversions on the way. Along with swoop racing, you can earn some extra dough by playing an intergalactic form of blackjack. Let's learn some finer points of the game, Pazik. Since you've traveled across a galaxy far, far away, you know you could use a break from the pressures of the light and dark side. The best thing to do is to sit down, relax, and find a Pazik player. There's one on every planet at your local cantina, or you can find players walking around each world. Pazik is a gambler's game. It's sort of like blackjack, but the magic number is 20. To begin playing the game, you have to first purchase a deck of cards. At the city of Terrace, you'll find an old fella named Garuk who wants to give up his gambling ways. He'll sell you his deck and even teach you how to play.
Just 50 credits and I'll sell you all my cards.
When you start, you have a deck of 10 cards. The total number of cards you can have is 40. The game is played with 10 cards, which is called your side deck. Once the wager is set, 4 cards are randomly chosen from your side deck. Cards are then dealt from the main deck face up for each player one at a time. Like in blackjack, you can hit for more cards or choose to use one of your 4 hand cards to reach 20. But remember that once one of your 4 hand cards is played, it can't be used again. After drawing a card, you can choose to stand or let your opponent draw. Whoever gets closest to 20 without going over wins. If you reach a tie, the round continues until someone busts. It's a good idea to try and tie the game. It's a good tactic to force your opponent to use up his 4 cards. You need to win 3 sets to win the wager. As you build your deck by finding or buying cards, you'll find red cards that have a negative value and cards that can be used as either plus or minus during the game. These will help you subtract from your hands when you're over 20. With plus or minus cards, you must decide whether it will be played as a positive or a negative before the game. You can either play for fun or bet your credits. On Terrace, you'll find a man named Niklos who's always looking for a game. He's a real hustler. His cards just get stronger with every game.
I'm going to enjoy relieving you of your credits almost as much as I'm going to enjoy humiliating you.
If you want to just practice, visit Mission on the Ebon Hawk.
Want to practice your skills, eh? Sure, I'll play a few hands.
She won't play for credits, but it's a good place to improve your hand. Be sure to visit Shady Rodian on Manon at Otto East Central. He has an extensive Pazik collection, and you'll be able to buy and trade cards with him to improve your deck. While still on Manon, you can play against a real pro named Jolan Affet. He's a traveling Pazik player looking for a challenge. He's in Otto West and wagers a maximum of 200 credits a game. Pazik is a game that is often overlooked in KOTOR, but if you take the time to play, you can win some easy credits again and again. Now that you've earned a few extra bucks in KOTOR, let's take a look at some of the hidden Easter eggs and secret stuff you'll want to find on your non-linear way. Plus, we'll show you how to avoid losing your party members in space. Remember, whether you're good or evil, you're a Jedi with a lightsaber. It's up to you to save the galaxy or fall to the dark side as you master the powers of the Force. On your journey, you'll find some Easter eggs if you take the time to look around. When you start a game, you can give your characters a special name based on a character from the Homestar Runner web cartoons. Go to the name menu and press the Y button to generate random names. Keep pressing Y until you come across Homestar. But be patient, it may take a while, and remember, Homestar is .com. To get ahead on the dark side, we've got a little tip to help you rack up some infinite dark side points. When you're on the Ebon Hawk, after leaving Tatooine, find a young girl named Sasha. When you talk to her, tell her to leave the ship. This will give you a dark side point. But before she leaves, keep talking to her and tell her to get off the ship again and again. Each time you tell her to leave, you'll attain another dark side point. As you advance in level, you want to keep your persuade skill up at the same pace. By leaving it at a static level, it won't be useful later in the game when the power of persuasion is needed. If your awareness skill is low, you can still avoid landmines. All you have to do is look for the small telltale metal pins sticking out of the ground. While on Terrace, don your Sith uniform and walk around Upper Terrace. When you talk to various civilians, you'll find that they're rather afraid and intimidated by you just by your presence. The dark side strikes again with fear. We've got an interesting evil tip for when you're traveling through Tatooine. Once you defended the sand crawlers against the sand people, you could turn around and wipe out the miners. Just equip yourself with a sand person's outfit. The miners will attack you on sight, thus allowing you to take them down instead. Don't worry about that evil feeling deep down inside. But if being on the dark side makes you feel guilty, you can turn back towards the side of good. We've got some tips to heal yourself and those in your party. Whenever you jump back to the Ebon Hawk, you'll remove any negative effects and heal your entire party. To heal yourself in battle and to get the most out of your med packs and force powers, it's a good idea to use Force Valor, Knight Valor, or Master Valor before or after battle. During a tough fight in which you've leveled up, it's a good idea to wait until you're badly injured. Leveling up in this injured state, you'll heal your vitality and force points to full. You can even talk with the animals. Most of the animals and beasts in the game will do something interesting when you click on them. Aw, he's cute. When you're a scoundrel or a guardian, you can use some interesting tactics in the game. As a scoundrel, you'll have sneak attack ability that causes more damage when you attack from behind. It does take some time, though, to get into the right place behind an enemy. As a guardian, you have force jump ability. You can quickly get into combat range and hit your enemy before he turns around. For a recap of these tips to help in your battle of good or evil, light side and dark side, just board the Ebon Hawk and hyperdrive over to the Cheat Sheet Master database at g4tv.com/cheat. So there you have it, the light and the dark of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Remember, if you've got any questions, requests, send us an email to cheat@g4tv.com or visit our Cheat Sheet Master database at g4tv.com/cheat. All right, that's it for today's episode. I'm Corey Rouse saying, remember, if life's got you down, use the Force and keep kicking butt. We'll see you next time on Cheat.
Speaking of power, and I think we were, Jason Giambi has tons of it, having hit 41 homers last season. He's a Yankee, an all-star, and he's also the cover boy of ESPN Major League Baseball. We hooked up with him recently to talk about his game and ESPN's.
ESPN Major League Baseball approached me to do this, if you're on a cover of a game, you've reached the pinnacle of your career. You know, I mean, that's why I can say, look back and say, hey, Dad used to be cool. You know, I mean, he was on a cover of a game. Today is actually the first time that I saw the game completely finished. I was blown away about how realistic it is. The little thing that they added this year that they got my input on was their confidence factor. Like if they hit a home run, it goes up, and if they strike out 2 times, their confidence factor goes down, and they become a worse player. So, I mean, that's a part of the game that nobody's ever really used. You're on the on-deck circle trying to get yourself mentally ready before you even walk in the box. And then I'm really pretty simple. I kind of hit with a spread out stance and, just kind of try to drop the bat head on the ball. I don't really use something, to get my timing. Some guy like Sheffield, wiggles his bat. I got God gifted. I mean, I ended up with great eyes. So a lot of times I can see it like out of their hand if, they hook their curveball or certain rotations, even the seams coming in, spinning on the ball will tell you a lot of times. You see a dot when a slider's coming in, you see a fork ball, the seams kind of all line up, change up to, even fastball. So, I mean, every little bit helps. The place I have the toughest is Baltimore, because the way the fences are constructed, they got like edges and the way they run the angles, I always feel like I'm cockeyed at the dish and I don't pick up the ball very good there. When I was with Oakland, they built, and everybody was pissed off they built Mount Davis out there in center field, but I wasn't. Trust me, I mean, that big, huge green, background to hit against, I mean, there's nothing better on the planet. Pedro's always tough. I mean, he's unbelievable. When he's on, he's really tough. Randy, of course, me being left-handed, him left-handed, that's not a lot of fun. And Mariano's not a lot of fun. I remember I used to face him with the A's, hitting everything off the top of your handle right there because he's cutting that fastball in on your hands.
I don't know that you could find a bigger rivalry in baseball other than the Yankees-Red Sox.
I don't dislike them, and I don't even think really the players get into it, but I'll tell you what, the fans, they get into it. Myself and G, we always laugh. Pitch comes in, look in the stands, oh, there's another fight. I'd always heard about it, but being a part of it, it's really something special.
Oh boy, this guy's going out the deep end. We got to get him out of this game.
Killing me. I would never swing at that pitch. I'm sorry. This is kind of like an outlet for me other than baseball, which makes it fun. I mean, it's still baseball, but the games from where I was as a kid to where they're at now, it's like unbelievable. It's fun because they keep getting better and better every single year.
There are 3 main objectives in this mission. Get your DNA in the prison computer, acquire a weapon, and get back to your cell block. Let's work on getting your DNA in the system. Hop down to the lower level when the coder turns his back to you. Press the stealth button to crouch, then move close behind him and hit the attack button. No charge for the spinal alignment. Now find the DNA sampler and press the action button.
Unscheduled DNA sample added to prison staff databank. Notifying system security.
Locate the assault rifle and pick it up.
Security breach in mainframe area.
Possible breakout. Then head to the corner of the room, just out of sight of the door.
Breach in mainframe area. Possible breakout attempt.
Get ready to blast 2 guards that'll be entering the room. Now move up to the door and take out 3 guards on the other side. Don't forget to pick up weapons that the guards drop, here and throughout the mission. Move through the hallway till you see a guard toss a grenade, then back up to get clear of the blast. Now move ahead and use the nanomed machine by pressing the action button while in front of it. The nanomed replenishes any health you've lost, so you can stop your crying. Press the action button to remove debris blocking the wall opening. Then move into the room and kill the guard here. Find the service panel on the wall and press the action button to stop the fan above. Turn around and find the stacked boxes and climb up to the top. Turn to face the fan, jump across, then crouch down and move through. Make your way to the other end of this walkway, but stay crouched on the side so the guards below don't see you. Now turn around and fall through the opening. I think you know what to do. Shoot out the light next to the doorway so you can stay hidden. Turn and face the doorway and wait for the guard to show his face. Then drop the bastard. Move just through the doorway and turn left. There are 2 guards up on a catwalk, so peek out and shoot them one at a time. Now climb the boxes to get on the catwalk and collect the weapons they dropped. Turn and zoom in on the guard you killed below, then shoot his friend when he checks the body. Jump down and move into the dark hallway. Stop and turn on your flashlight, then aim in the left corner and move forward. A hidden guard will roll out right to where you're aiming. Now open the service hatch, crouch, and go through the opening. Find the valve and press the action button to close it. It's tough to see with the steam, so keep your flashlight off. Move forward till a grenade is thrown, then step back to avoid the blast.
Hey man, how's it going?
Move forward and kill the 2 guards up ahead. Don't forget to pick up the weapons they've dropped. Now find the hole in the wall from the grenade blast and go through it. Make sure your flashlight's off and move ahead. When a guard enters, stop and kill him. Then move ahead till another genius runs in and add his blood to the puddle. Continue ahead and go through the doorway. Use the nanomed here if you need it, then turn and shoot the light just inside the open door. Go through the door and walk forward a few steps. They'll toss a grenade, so back up and let it explode. Turn and kill the guard to the right. Then turn left and kill the guard hiding behind the boxes. Move along the wall to lure out 2 more guards, but stay against the wall to avoid a grenade blast. Kill off only one of the guards, and then climb the boxes up onto a higher platform.
You peek out your nose and you're dead, prisoner.
From here, kill the last guard, and then face the elevator shaft. A mech unit will come off the lift and fire at you.
Show yourself.
Back up slowly to lure it towards the platform, and when it does, jump over the rail out onto a set of boxes. Turn, look down, and shoot the top of its head to make some scrap metal. Now get on the lift and press the elevator button. Go through the door at the top, and your mission's complete.
Crespo makes billions selling oil to the U.S. through a third party at the higher price. And the Saudi waits until a U.S. assault enables him to make his play for power while the bombs are falling. And then they come out on top, just in time to get rebuilt. Suit your team up. We found the VX. It's at Mardi Gras.
Before taking your team into the parade objective, equip yourself with the G3A3 assault rifle, the M203 grenade launcher, and smoke and frag grenades. Proceed through the alleyway, throwing a couple of smoke grenades. Eliminate the first terrorist hiding in the rear. Switch into thermal vision to see through the smoky conditions you've created, and blow away the terrorists as you spot them.
Take him out, Ding.
Watch for the sharpshooter on the rooftop. Open and clear the door on the left.
Moving now. Roger. Open and clear.
Hold your teammates as you proceed
Roger,
up the stairs.
position.
Kill the terrorist above, but he'll throw a grenade. With night vision on, proceed to the top of the stairs and turn down the hallway to pick off another guard.
Information.
Open the door and move in carefully, taking out another terrorist. Carry on into a back room where you'll face another terrorist. Open the door and move into the hallway with caution. At the staircase, a terrorist will throw a grenade. Go down the stairs and take him out. Tell your team to go downstairs and hold, while you go back upstairs to provide cover while the team defuses the bomb. Head back up the stairs along the corridor to an open window. Pick off the terrorist in the opposite window. Throw a smoke grenade to create a smoke screen so terrorists cannot easily pick off your team. Have your team defuse the bomb while you cover for them.
Roger. Demo up. Contact.
Contact. Tango rear.
Taking fire. Nice work, but satellite just detected the activation of a failsafe trigger. The bomb's still set to blow. Leave your team behind to cover it.
Move quickly down the hall and the stairs to the street, picking off yet another enemy.
Negative, sir.
Proceed past the truck to a side alley and a billiard room where you'll face more resistance. Use thermal vision in the billiard room to take down the assassins. Work your way through the billiard room back to the door that leads upstairs.
Intel puts the failsafe device somewhere on the third.
At the first landing, throw a grenade and stand back.
Probably a laptop computer.
Using thermal vision, remove another tango. Continue up, veer to the right, and enter the terrace area. There's one terrorist directly ahead of you. There's another coming out of the room to the left. Enter the beverage room, cross it, and pass through the door. Turn to the right and proceed along the hallway.
Run quickly, since you only have a few minutes to deactivate the remote detonator.
Eliminate another tango as you veer toward the left and move into the atrium.
Watch Ding blast away at these tangos.
You've only got 2 minutes remaining.
Cross the atrium to a room that houses the remote detonator. Ding just saved the city of New Orleans.
That was close. Now all we need to do is get Crespo, and we can wrap this thing up.
Game timer. Before taking your team into the shipyard objective, equip yourself with the G3A3 assault rifle, the M203 grenade launcher, the frag grenade, and the flashbang grenade. Now, start in night vision as you patrol through container stacks.
The first bomb is in the warehouse to your front. Be careful, you're heading into a real...
Proceed to the truck in front of you. Zoom in on your left and take out the terrorist. This triggers another terrorist to come out. Then, throw a grenade at the containers to make sure there are no tangos left. Switch to thermal vision and shoot at the terrorist in front of you. Move forward and take out 2 more terrorists.
Roger, moving now. Contact. Threat neutralized. Contact. Tango neutralized.
Move your team towards the garage and open the door in the back. Take the doorway on the right and head down the corridor. Open the door and eliminate the tango running up the stairs. Take your team up the stairs. Set your team to guard one side of the office.
Roger, moving now.
While you use night vision to hunt down tangos. The first will dart out from the right.
Hey! Hostile down.
Another is down the hall.
Waiting for orders.
No puedo más. Abandono.
Secure the terrorist once he drops his weapon.
On the way.
Regroup your team and exit the office.
Information.
The bomb should be somewhere on the warehouse floor.
Open the door. Kill the terrorist. And move your team to cover the window. Your team will provide cover as you head down to the warehouse.
Contact! Threat neutralized. Contact! Tango down.
Be cautious and take down any remaining terrorists. Tell your team to defuse the bomb as you guard them.
Roger. Demo up.
According to intel, the second bomb is below you.
Enter the room with a steel mesh. And head down the stairs to the lower level. Issue an opening clear on Zulu command at the first door you see. Proceed down the hallway where you can snipe at a terrorist.
Roger. Open and clear. Contact! Roger.
Have your team defuse the bomb while you guard them. Cover the big bay ceiling doors.
The last bomb is planted below the ship's hull. Find it fast.
Information. Contact.
Now lead your team further down into the shipyard. Hold them halfway in the corridor to eliminate deadly crossfire. Take your team down the stairs to defuse the last bomb. Here you will encounter plenty of enemies, so shoot away using night vision.
Tango neutralized. Contact! Under fire! Contact!
As you pass through the crates, watch out for the big sliding door. A terrorist will pop out.
Contact! Roger, holding. Information.
Infiltrate the next room where you will zing many tangos. Shoot away and keep your eye on the sliding door.
Contact! Tango down. Frag out! Roger. Demo up. Contact!
Hey Ding, another battle under your belt.
Mission over.